What up YouTube, we're back with another tutorial. For this haircut we're going to be doing a mohawk with a wider V in the back with a burst fade, and we're leaving the top. The top of his hair is at least 6 inches long, and we'll be doing a skin burst with a little design on the sides. I would like to do a giveaway once I reach 20k subscribers. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell to stay in the loop. To start off our first step, I got my one guard with the lever fully open, and we're going to debulk. That way it makes it easier once we start the fade and create our first guideline using our trimmers. If you like this haircut, make sure to stick around towards the end of the video. I'll be telling you how to ask your barber for this specific haircut. Alright, now that I debulked it using my one guard with the lever fully open, for a burst, you don't want to go up super high. I'll be using clipper over comb right now to get rid of the bulk, because we still want to leave it dark enough to give it that burst effect. So we'll be using a 45-degree angle. Remember, we're not going up so high because he wants to keep the length. And we're just going to debulk right now. If you're interested in any of the products I used in the video, check out the description below for all the links. I recommend you guys to learn how to clipper over comb because it will save you time. A lot of new barbers out there have to use a different guard and keep going higher and higher, but this will save you time. So if you don't know, let me know in the comment section and I could come out with a clipper over comb video. So we'll be doing the exact same steps we did to the right side like we did on the left side with our one guard with the lever fully open. You want to go about 2 inches high, but not so high up here because we'll be clipper over combing it. You don't want to go too far in for the burst fade because we're going to be doing a wider V, so just keep that in mind. Alright, so now we're going to be creating the V for the mohawk. You want to make sure it's centered so when you do the burst, it could blend in perfectly together. Done. If you have trouble creating the V in the back, it could be because the hair is too long. Right here you can see that his hair is super long, and then little by little starts going down and it's not as thick. So what I do, I clipper over comb. If you're a new barber or if you've been barbering for a while, it helps a lot to just get rid of all that little excess hair. You want to get rid of the bulk so that way when we do the V, it looks perfectly nice and it just goes smooth with the top of the hair to the bottom. Make sure to keep a comb in hand. This does help to get any little excess hair when you're creating the V. That way you could have a nice straight line. All right, so for the burst fade, I'll be leaving his C cup. That will give it like another effect to the burst. So it's like dark, the burst, into the dark for the V in the back. And we'll be starting right here and not going in too far back, but we'll be using our clipper to blend this all out. I'll be using my shaver to give it that extra razor look. Alright, so I'm gonna have the lever fully closed and I'm gonna be using the corner of my blade a lot just because it's a little trickier when you do a burst fade. But using the corner of your blade definitely helps. Remember, we want to keep this darker, so I'm not going to blend it in too high. Once I did my first step, now I'm slightly opening up my lever and continue to go up 1/2 inch. Now I have my lever all the way open and I'm still going up and using the corner of my blade. Once I'm done using my lever all the way open, I move on to my half guard with the lever fully closed. I'm slightly opening up my lever. Remember, when doing any burst fades or tapers, I always like to use my middle finger just because it's longer and then it's able to move the ear easier for me. That way I could get in and get the lines out. Now it's fully open. I got my one guard now with the lever fully closed. We're still going up 1/2 inch. opening up the lever just a little bit more. Now I got the lever fully open. I'm still using the corner of my clipper to blend the lines out. Once I'm done using the one guard with the lever fully open, for me, I always clip over comb just because it cuts your time in half, and that's just the way I cut hair. Alright, so now I'm gonna use my trimmer and I'll be lining up the C-cup area. Now that we're done with the C-cup area, you can still see a little line right here. So I'm gonna go with my trimmer, and with the upwards motion, I'll just be flicking it out, using the corner of the blade as well. To smoothen the final line out that I just did using my trimmer, I'm gonna come back with my clipper and just clean up the area a little bit. For the left side, he wants a design, and this is what he wants. Let me show you how I do it. So before I start off the design, I'm going to line up the C-cup areas so I could have an idea where to place the design. And as well, when I do any designs, I do like a little rough sketch before I detail it, so the placement could be exactly where he wants it. Now that I did a sketch of the design, I know where everything's going to be at. And it doesn't look as clean right now, but let me show you. All right, now that I got the design in place, I'm gonna be fading this out. But before I skin it, I'm just gonna use my lever fully closed and not bring it up so high so it doesn't take the definition from the design away from the haircut. Ready? I got my half guard on now, and I'll be having the lever midway open just so I could get rid of the darkness. I'll be using my trimmer just to go more skin on the bottom. Followed up by the shaver to give it a more skin tight look. For our last step, I'll be cleaning it up with my clipper with the lever fully closed, and I'm gonna be using the angles of the clipper. Now I'll be doing his lineup. I always get a lot of people asking how to get the lineup straight with the hair being so long. So what I like to do, guys, I clip over comb the bulk in the front, 45-degree angle. We're not gonna bring it up so high or anything, so that way the hair can lay down nicely once it's all lined up. Now that I'm done debulking the front of his lineup, I'm gonna come with my trimmer and I'm gonna start off in the corner right here and finish in the middle and then go to the other side. And then I'll have my guideline for this side. Alright, now that we got our guideline from the right side, we'll be following it to the left side. I always like to keep a comb in hand to always comb down the hair in the front, so that way it could get all these little hairs that are sticking out, and I could follow up with my trimmer for a more crispier line. For the last step, you want to use your straight blade because it's more attention to detail for his lineup, and it'll just look super crisp. If you want the design to stand out, you want to use some shaving gel, but since I don't have any, you could always use water and just lightly spray it on. To give him the final look that he's looking for, I'll be using some texturing powder, and you want to apply it evenly throughout the head. Using your hands, just get the product in there. Or if you have a comb, but with your hands it gets the job done. For this specific haircut, ask your barber for a burst fade with a wide V for the mohawk, and the top, it just depends on how long you like the length. His on top is 6 inches long, and we just lined him up in the front. To start off our first step, I'll be doing, alright, ready, set. Also, you don't want to go so back over here because we're not really doing like a more, you don't want to go more back in the back. Wait. Got my one guard on now with the lever fully open. Go with my clipper. If you want the, now that I got